Have you ever been put on the spot where someone asked you a question, not to get your opinion, but to humiliate you? How would you handle it? Now imagine you're Barron Trump, the youngest son of one of the most talked about figures in the world, and you're singled out in front of your classmates by a professor aiming to embarrass you. What happens next isn't just surprising. It leaves everyone in the room completely shocked. Barron's response is one you don't want to miss. Let's dive into this remarkable story. Introduction. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more incredible stories about resilience, leadership, and surprising moments of character. Today, we're talking about Barron Trump, a young man who, despite living in the shadow of his famous family, showed the world his remarkable poise and maturity. This story takes us inside a classroom where a professor tried to put Barron in an awkward spot. But what Barron did next silenced the room and won over his classmates. Let's break it down. The classroom atmosphere. It was a regular day at a prestigious private school where Barron Trump attended classes. Known for his quiet and thoughtful nature, Barron often kept a low profile, preferring to focus on his studies rather than drawing attention to himself. The school itself was renowned for nurturing future leaders and critical thinkers, with its bright classrooms and challenging curriculum. Among the faculty was a professor known for sparking debates, often pushing boundaries with bold and provocative questions. On this particular day, the topic in class was leadership and its impact on society. The discussion was lively, with students sharing their thoughts and debating passionately. But as the conversation peaked, the professor's attention turned to Barron. What happened next would leave the entire class stunned. The confrontation, the professor's loaded question. During the debate, the professor turned to Barron and asked, "Barron, since your father is one of the most controversial figures in modern politics, do you think his actions have done more harm than good for this country?" The room fell silent. Every eye turned to Barron, some expecting him to falter under pressure, others curious to hear his response. The professor's tone made it clear this wasn't just a question. It was a challenge, one designed to make Barron uncomfortable. But instead of reacting with frustration or panic, Barron delivered a response that no one in the room could have anticipated. Barron's reply, calm, collected, and unexpected. Barron paused, meeting the professor's gaze with calm composure. Then, in a steady and thoughtful voice, he replied, "That's a thoughtful question. Thank you for asking." The room remained silent as Barron continued. "I think leadership is always complicated. No leader can make decisions that everyone agrees with. My father, like anyone in a leadership position, has made choices that some people love and others dislike. But I believe he always tried to do what he thought was best for the country." The professor appeared slightly taken aback, perhaps expecting a defensive or flustered reaction. But Barron wasn't finished. He glanced around the room, addressing his classmates as well. "What's more important to me," he said, "is that we focus on having respectful discussions, even when we disagree. That's the only way we grow and learn from each other." The room reacts, a shift in the atmosphere. The tension in the room began to dissolve. Some students who had been smirking moments earlier now looked thoughtful, while others nodded in agreement. The professor, clearly impressed by Barron's response, paused before saying, "That's a very balanced perspective, Barron. Thank you for sharing. What could have been a tense or even humiliating moment was transformed into an opportunity for meaningful dialogue. Barron's calm and respectful response not only defused the situation, but also left a lasting impression on everyone in the room. After the class, respect earned. Word of Barron's response spread quickly among his classmates. Even those who held differing political views couldn't help but praise how he had handled the situation. For many, this moment redefined their perception of Barron Trump. He wasn't just the son of a famous figure. He was someone with his own thoughts, a calm demeanor, and a surprising level of maturity that went far beyond his years. Why this moment matters. A lesson in grace under pressure. This wasn't just a classroom exchange. It was a powerful example of how to handle pressure and criticism with grace. Barron's ability to stay calm and collected in a moment designed to challenge him is something we can all learn from. In a world where disagreements often escalate into conflict, his response showed that respectful dialogue and thoughtful communication can turn even the most difficult situations into opportunities for connection. What we can learn. Takeaways from Barron's response. So what can we take away from this story? First, staying calm under pressure is one of the most valuable skills we can develop. It allows us to think clearly and respond thoughtfully, even in challenging situations. Second, respect and empathy go a long way. By addressing the question with logic and understanding, Barron turned what could have been a divisive moment into a meaningful conversation. And finally, this story reminds us that true leadership isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's about staying composed, listening, and responding with wisdom and integrity. Conclusion. A moment that will be remembered. Barron Trump's reply to his professor wasn't just a surprising moment. It was a reminder of the strength that comes from staying calm and thoughtful under pressure. By choosing respect over defensiveness and dialogue over conflict, he turned an attempt to embarrass him into a powerful example of leadership and maturity. It's a story that inspires us all to approach challenges with grace and to value meaningful conversations, even in the most difficult circumstances. Outro. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.